Hey, and welcome to the third episode of the Lake of Rage podcast, a Pokemon trading card game podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Clementi, aka Mellow_Magikarp, and I'm here joined by two very special, very temporary guest hosts. We have our first recurring guest host, despite what people wanted. We have Nikhil, aka the Gyroscope Eevee.
How's it going, y'all?
And we have the first time on the podcast, we have Wilmer, aka Gen71, aka Budget Tord.
Hi. Yeah.
So the plan for today is we are going to do some rapid fire questions to get to know Gens a little bit better. We will give some updates on Team Carpe D's Rats, talking about the event that we just had this weekend and some cool, exciting future stuff we have. I said the word cool like it's not a thing, and I'm actually super excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be super sick.
Both of my guest hosts competed in the team challenge. They're going to give us some updates. We're going to talk about the Aichi Champions League in Japan that happened over the weekend with half of our June set in it. So some interesting results there. We'll talk about the expanded meta with battle styles, how that has changed with Gens the expanded extraordinaire. And then we will take some questions from Twitch chat. And of course, we are always live on Twitch. So, Nikhil, how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. We got exams again coming up. I have exams every week with school, but it was kind of stressful last week because my team challenge team, as I'll get into, is 3 hours different than my team. So we had like a huge headache trying to schedule our game. But we finally got it. We did it and we won. I will get into that later. But that was like super exciting. I'm very excited for the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode this Friday. That show is so cool. I'm super stoked for that. Anyone in chat that gets me, you get me.
Is that superhero stuff?
Yeah, it's Marvel.
Bro. Gens, how's your week been?
It's been good. We just started Easter break, and we also had a chill end of last week. So I have been doing nothing.
Yo,
Good.
That's nice. Wait, so do you go back to school and stuff next week?
I go Tuesday, yeah.
Well, you get Monday off too?
Broken.
I mean, it's a holiday.
What? No, Monday's not a holiday.
You got Easter evening on Saturday, then you got first Easter day on Sunday, and then you got second Easter day on Monday.
Lucky.
And you got obviously got Palm Sunday, Long Friday, the Wednesday is something, and the Thursday is something.
What? All right. For those who don't know, Gens is Norwegian. If we have any Norwegian listeners, I'm sure you know everything that he just said. But I'm just going to nod my head and say, sure. That sounds good. All right, Gens. So as you know, we always start off getting to know our temporary guest host with some rapid fire questions. So I'm going to go ahead and throw you as many questions you can answer in 60 seconds. I just want you to rattle off as quickly as you can. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
No.
Bro, no one said no yet. I don't know how to respond. All right, how about now?
Okay, yeah, now.
Okay. All right, question number 1. Cereal or oatmeal?
Cereal.
Spring or fall?
Spring.
What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
What's the last movie that you watched?
I watched. I don't remember the name. It's the water movie with West Epps.
Okay. Rate your athletic ability on a scale of 1 to 10.
Solid 2.
What's your favorite TCG accomplishment?
Top 4 Olympus.
Apples or oranges?
Apples.
How many shoes do you own?
I own 2.
YouTube or Twitch?
Twitch.
Would you rather go to a big party or hang out with a small group of friends?
Small group of friends.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Absol.
Junk hunt or resource management?
Resource management.
Worst deck you ever did well with? And that's time.
Magnusson Duskmane.
Bodied.
Magnusson Duskmane. All right, that was pretty good.
But your pick.
You got 12. That is a D. That is the minimal passing grade.
How have we not talked
Okay,
about your
that's
favorite?
what I'm going for. That's always what I'm going for.
How have we never talked about your favorite Pokemon being Absol? I feel like this should have come up. Have we seriously never brought this up?
No, I never brought it.
No, that Absol's my favorite too. I have like 500
It's
of
the
them
best
sitting on my desk.
It is the best Pokemon. So
Yeah. I have like 500 Absol cards just big chilling on my desk right now. It started as a joke. My friends would just like hand me a couple, and then at Nationals one year, the vendors said, I'll give you all these Absols for like 10 cents a piece. And I was like, sold. I bought like 100 Absol that year. And it's just like been a reoccurring thing.
No good cards.
Yeah, no, I had the team up ones actually. I had like 100 of them when they went up to like $8 a piece. I was pretty happy about that.
The team up one was good for a while.
That card was broken for a while. What? A skateboard Jirachi in every deck? You're just like, here's an Absol, and you're like...
And then they play Switch.
I played Zoroart.
Oh, gross. No, I was Zapdos that whole format. That's not true. No, I played Pikarom that format. Next format, I played Zapdos.
Zoroark is so fun. You draw cards. Basically control. It's basically control.
I mean, there is Zoroark
control. I played Zoroark control.
Sure.
Is all of Norway just Zoroark control mirrors that format?
No. We got it was mostly Zoroark.
That's fair. I mean, so was my meta, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, Zoroark control was late in that format.
I don't know. I always loved that part. Just like everyone locally played Zoroark, and so I didn't play Zoroark. And because no one played Malamar, because everyone played Zoroark. So you just played something that beat Zoroark and lost to Malamar, and you were just like...
So you're just fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like Buzzguard, for example. That was a different format, I guess. But like that's the type of deck that like you never beat Malamar ever, but no one played Malamar because everyone played Zoroark. So just like everything was like so free. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our first, the team updates. So Team Carpe D's Rats has been up to some stuff this past weekend. Look, okay, Jen's team beat me. Let's just get that out there right now.
Bro, they ran over the competition. Holy.
But Evie, would you like to explain what happened and mostly why?
Okay, so for those that missed it, because it was a pretty small thing, we didn't intend it for this to be the big thing. We had an in-team thing we called the Hunger Games. It was 4 different groups of our guys playing Deck Wizard stuff against each other in the expanded format. So Deck Wizard's like super complicated because, especially with expanded, because there's so many cards you have like access to that it gives you. You're kind of forced into this weird spot where it's like, I mean, we got 3 Dragonite EX from Evolutions and we opened them like 6 times. So we built a deck around 2 cards. And we were not allowed to pick like banned cards like Shaman, and we banned Zacian V for this because Zacian is ridiculous when you play 20 energy cards. And the teams were based around 4 different streamers. All 4 teams streamed most of it. Unfortunately, Locke's stream crashed like in the middle of it, so he had to stop. And Jen's team made a crazy 2 picks, like absolutely ridiculous, and just ran the competition. I'll let him talk about that before I keep going.
Bro, it's not the picks.
Yeah.
The picks weren't good.
I mean, it was.
It's what the deck gave
There's
you.
no way your deck was real. Like, there's no way.
If anyone's listening and doesn't know what Deck Wizard is, so you can pick certain Pokemon, but essentially it fills out the rest of the deck around it with literally the most random things you'll ever find. My deck, for example, got 4 Aether Foundation employees, which lets you put a Alolan Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. I had no Alolan Pokemon, so the card did absolutely nothing.
We got 3 Ericas and 4 Opals in our deck. We got 1 Mixture. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. It went not good.
Yeah, no, we chose Intellion Vmax and the Dene GX. And then we also got for Shaman EX, which was good. It helped the deck a lot. Yeah, no, the pick was... We chose Senti because it's the biggest hitter, low maintenance attacker that's in the format. And the Dene, so we don't actually need to play supporters.
That's what.
So we can just have a Pokemon as your supporter. And Boo was smart enough to remember that A-Specs was the thing, because we could change 5 cards. So we added Scramble Switch because we expected few gusts. I think it was about 0 Gust.
Yep.
There's one.
And then we added, oh, you had Gust?
We added a Guzma.
Oh, you added the Guzma. Okay, yeah. No, that's fair. And then we had, we added Welder, we added Blacksmith.
See, and the Scramble Switch turned out to be
just a bad start. Oh, yeah.
The Scramble Switch was so broken because we picked Coco. Well, we picked a Spike Draw Coco with Boltund, and we were like, they're going to give us the Vmax, and no one has Switch in this format because that never gives you Switch. And then we paralyze your Scorch, and you drop the Scramble Switch, and it was like, all right, do we scoop now, team?
You want to? That was an interesting matchup because we drew the Scramble Switch off the prize cards that exact turn. That was fun. We also had taken Lysa, so
that is true. There was
just to be sure.
Yeah, that was I mean, I think Sack and I definitely picked the wrong 2 Pokemon. We were not preparing at all for this. I'm going to be realistic with you. And I'll explain why we didn't have any intention of trying to win. So our third player, each team was supposed to have 3 players, but 3 of them were MIA. Zol definitely said he was busy, and I'm pretty sure he thought I think he thought his team challenge game was that Sunday, but it was definitely not. It was the Saturday, and then he just didn't feel like playing, so he didn't show up for our team. Boo and Jens were supposed to have Slapjacks play for them. Slap was MIA, learning the ways of the sword. Who else? Oh, Ozzy. Ozzy had work, I think, that day.
I think he was there.
He was there. He was there, which was weird.
Like he's not the list,
right?
So Ozzy H2 and the luck.
But the reason it doesn't matter is, I guess I'll announce it. End of April, the Carpe D's Rats is hosting a 16 streamer invitational for Deck Wizard. It will be 15 different PTCGO streamers playing, as well as one group of our guys. That was what happened with the winner. So Boo, Jens, and Slap will be competing as the 16th player. For $100 cash, the winner will just get $100. So if these guys win, they only get $33.33. So they can figure it out.
Slap is not getting
it. So that's the deal. We have 15 streamers hopefully coming, and Azul will hopefully be one of them. Which is why we weren't too upset if we didn't win, because we'll just have him play anyways because he gets a lot of viewers. I am not going to say anything yet. The 15 streamers will be announced over time on Twitter. So make sure you follow the team's Twitter, Carpe D's Rats, just that. So you can see all the updates, because it is going to be pretty sweet.
Knowing some leaks already, yeah, it's going to be pretty sweet. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. It's good streamers.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to talk about the team challenge. So this was the week moving from 512 to 256, correct?
Yep.
Cool. So you both competed. Nikhil, go ahead and start us off. How'd your team go?
It was very stressful. So we got the bye round one. And so we kind of made it clear that we didn't care if we lost that much, but we just wanted to win a game against another store to just be like, okay, we don't completely suck. Like, we can kind of hold our own. That's what ended up happening. We ended up going 5-2. We prepped for a few weeks. We have 2 players, including myself, that were a little bit more experienced. Another player that's pretty experienced, and then his wife. And she's a lot less experienced than the rest of us, so we helped coach her for a few weeks. So the 4 decks we ended up bringing were Luke Metalization. I brought Tempozard. One of us brought Scorch, just like straight Scorch, and then the other one brought Eggrow Rillaboom. We had the Eggrow sit out because they showed up with E-Turn, Scorch, and Cramorant Vmax, and we're like, there is no way we beat any of these. So we just completely cut the Eggrow out. Fun fact, I had no intention of playing. I thought I was going to be the guy coaching. And then we saw the list, and I was like, maybe I should play. So I just whatever the list I took was the list that Jens put in our Discord so he could paste it into his decklist submission. That's what I submitted. And it went swimmingly. Round 1, I lost to Cramorant Vmax. The deck is real. I'm going to say that. It is actually very aggressive. Our E-Turn player lost, the Luke Metal player lost to the Senti, but that was kind of expected. And then our Senti beat their E-Turn. which is all that mattered. We needed one win round one, because round two we all 2-0'd our opponents. I 2-0'd their Senti. The Luke Metal 2-0'd the E-Turn because they played they played a Spiritomb, but that's not like an out to Zamazenta because it takes so long. And then the Senti beat the Cram matchup. So going into the third round, we were just like, all right, one person win, and then I double donked the E-Turn player.
Oh, let's go.
He won the coin flip game one, went first, went attach Evil Toll pass, I went double blaze, and then he did the same thing game two. And I was like, does this guy not learn?
See, this is why you go second as E-Turn. I'm convinced. The deck draws so bad.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he should have also never gone first because he knew I was playing Tempo Zard, and he knew like I get to play a welder going second. All my opponents let me go second constantly, so I was like very confused why this kept happening.
Bro, people don't know. That's what's so wild. It's just like just as simple as going first or second is such a big deal, and it's like you should know that. Like that's not that hard. You don't even have to play the deck sometimes to be like, well, I want to electrify. I should probably go second.
Or I want to double blaze their bolt in turn one, so I want to go second.
Right.
Right. So it felt good winning two of my sets, especially because I had no intention of playing and did not practice for this whatsoever. I put 0 minutes into testing. I practiced a little bit with Boo just to learn their specific deck list a little bit more before, but I wasn't like testing every deck in standard to figure out which one I wanted. I was like, oh, this is a deck list I can copy and paste. Let's play this.
So Jens, how'd your team challenge go? You carried the squad?
I was the coach. They definitely needed me as the coach. Even though I was only there for half the games. We ended 5-0.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah. I brought, like you said, Amblesar. Ended up not playing because they brought Licky Control, Luke Metal, P-Crom, and the Baby Blounce that played both Stab and Mew. So instead we had brought Control, P-Crom, and ADBC.
Licky, yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Because Blounce definitely loses to all of it. Well, Blounce beats Licky, right?
No, they discard the and they. I think personally, they will out resource Blounce.
Okay,
I don't think he got enough resources.
How much HP does the Licky have?
130.
Yeah. Because I've only played the on ladder. Beating people on ladder.
They play two shovels.
Oh, the shovel! Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, and they bench the Luke Metalist. Yeah. So Blounce would definitely have been the wrong pick.
So I'm curious.
Yeah.
You 5-0'd your opponent. Are you calling it now? Is your squad winning Europe?
I am saying we are a strong contender. We have certain good players on the team.
We have you, the best player in Norway.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. What's the other guy you have? Some Joe Schmo.
It's leaders, Andreas. No Norwegian names. I don't remember the third guy.
Good call. So sounds like it was pretty positive for both of you. Are you all ready? Wait, okay. I actually don't know. Is the next week Battle Styles legal?
Yeah. So it's interesting. If we choose a time with the other team before Thursday to play, we can play team up through Vivid Voltage. I don't know why anyone would do that unless they don't have the cards. Like that's the only reason I think that's justifiable. But we're probably playing this weekend and we're doing Battle Styles format. Again, I don't know what I'm playing. I'm probably gonna figure it out like Thursday night.
That's my question. So the kill squad's not ready. Jens, is your squad ready?
We are not ready. We began talking today. I posted 2 lists. I think are good. Not leaking though.
Smart. Is one of those lists Coco Vmax?
Sadly, not. No. I think I'm just going to say on the Thursday, at 4 a.m., 1 hour before the list is submitted. I think I'm going to say we bring this and do that.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
I'd be bringing Coco. For if anyone's wondering. I didn't make a team, but if you're playing against my team, I'd bring Coco.
That's not a shock to like anybody on this planet.
Deck's so much fun. I think I'm gonna play.
I would have.
We're playing Fulgrim.
I would have guessed Tomb.
Tomb? Tomb's been like.
Tomb's broken in this format. Holy, I'm sorry.
Bro, Tomb is good.
I cast a game of it yesterday. I cannot believe how like he like escape roped and scoop up. He put like 8 damage counters on the Tomb in one turn, and I was like,
bro, why
this guy's winning this turn.
Yeah.
I told you all the Tomb was broken. And you're just like, shut
but
up.
nobody trusts
I said I agreed.
Nobody trusts
me. That's
Mellow.
true. No, Jens did agree with.
I said, yeah, no, with rope and level, it's a good.
I can never tell when you're being serious. That's
hates me.
Bro, Ned.
I mean, I'm always a bit serious, but also never serious.
Ooh, maybe I should play Tomb tonight. I'll worry about that later. Whatever. We've got more tournaments this weekend. We can play all the Tomb in the world. Speaking of which, Players Cup is it's not on the schedule. So Players Cup got announced for number 4, so I have to figure out real decks to play. I should probably not just play Coco and Tomb the whole time.
Yeah, probably not.
that destroyed me for Players Cup too. I was just like, let's just play Orbeetle and all the ADP band events, and then I was not ready for the actual event. So let's get into the recent results from Japan. So Japan had a Champions League. The Aichi, I'm not sure how to say it exactly, but 1,600 players. It was a format similar to ours. So as a preface for everyone, what happens in Japan is they play 9 best-of-1 rounds into a top 16 cut. Their format is almost like ours. The difference is they obviously have one more set than we have. They have the Matchless Fighter set. We'll get into that stuff in a second. And they have half a set less. They have no Prism Star cards. Wondrous Labyrinth, Black Market, Shaman, Coco. They have no Jirachi from Team Up. They have no Incineroar GX. And no Absol. And no Energy Spinner. But that seems less relevant.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because Spinner is a promo, right?
I mean,
yeah, it was like a promo much earlier than we got it.
Yeah, and then it was printed for Unbroken Bonds for us, but not for their equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Their team up set was very strange. I opened 2 of the 3 sets that make up their team up equivalent. And like it's very weird like how they split up the cards, and I'm guessing they rotated only certain pieces out.
Yeah, they have now the legal symbols that we're gonna have, or we already have too. If you look at the bottom left of a card, it has D, E, etc. So in theory, we'll end up with the same legalities as them eventually. We've been saying that for like over a year now.
Ever.
So who knows? It's never gonna happen. They did unban Lucamine though. So same idea.
We're getting there.
Anyway, have you all had a chance to see the results? Because this is kind of a look into our future, but also our like present, because it's not that different.
I looked a bit, today.
Yeah.
So
I looked at like some of the lists.
So we had taking first place was Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX featuring the supporter Welder. Definitely not a new deck in any way, shape, or form. But they did have the new tool of that Zapdos, that Galarian Zapdos V to beat Eternatus.
Crazy card.
Yeah, so what do you think? Is Welder Mewtwo gonna stand a chance once it adds Galarian Zapdos? Is this gonna become like...
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
I mean,
I think so.
It's like S tier deck. I think that deck is just so crazy strong. Like, I don't know who put this out on Twitter the other day, but I genuinely believe that Mew and Mewtwo GX is the best GX card of all time because it's every GX card in itself in some way. Like you can play it breaks the evolution lines and the balancing of it. Like the Hidden Fate's Charizard does 300 damage for 4 with no drawback because it's a stage 2. Just because you like now you can just discard and be like, all right, take 300 damage from a basic. Like that's just so wild to me.
That attack.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. I think Mewtwo Welder will definitely be, once we get to the Galarian Zapdos, it will be better than it is in Japan right now because of the Incineroar. Incineroar is such a good card for Mewtwo.
Yes.
Just to, have that little disruption, but also that insane attack of the GX deck.
Yeah.
Coming in second place was Intellion Vmax featuring, I believe, the baby Intellion as well was the one that got second place. This is a list that I think is entirely standard legal right now. Do you think Intellion Vmax is being slept on by us, or did they happen to hit the right meta at the right time for the tournament run?
I think they just hit the right meta. I mean, they played 2 power plants. I think the list that was posted in the Discord is the correct list. Yeah, they played a 3-3-1-2 split of the Intellion. So they have one of the Feather Arrow ones, and then they have the 2 double trainers. I think the card is crazy. I love the list. I love the idea. I don't know how good it is now that like it's aware, and also Pikarom is still a thing in our format. Like you can't. It's kind of hard to translate that because Pikarom is still seeing a lot of play in standard, even though there's a ton of fighting stuff out there.
Yo, did y'all watch the first round? We'll go back to it. Sorry to cut you off, guys, but the first round of the tournament, the first game on stream, was a Pikarom player who literally just went attach Marnie, the opponent bricked, and then went attach pass, attach full blitz.
That's so wild.
So bad. All right, thoughts on
I think it's good. It had that with so much fire decks in play. It definitely has a part in the meta. But we need to remember that Pikarom is definitely better in our meta with Coco Prism Star. It has more tempo potential.
That's fair. So we're probably not going to see attach pass 2 times into a full blitz. I mean, they won.
No.
It worked.
They did win.
And if you win, you did everything
correct. That's what you need to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what was the other? Oh, the other big one was coming in second place, I believe, in the senior division. And look, we all know seniors is a joke, right? But I can only say that because I've seen the age that listens to this podcast, so we're good. But they had a super cool deck, and it was Mewtwo and Mew featuring Weavile and all the attackers and the Galarian Moltres V that essentially dark patches to itself every turn. And okay, this is a quick spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched. It's like round 5-ish. So I don't know, fast forward like a minute if you want to watch it, but it's a ridiculous game with this deck. Not seniors, this one masters. Scorch was just like rushing over this poor Mewtwo deck, and then out of nowhere they're just like use Umbreon Darkrai GX's attack, your Scorch is knocked out, and then you can't play trainers, and so the Scorch player just like passes, and they're like, okay, cool, boss up the Dedenne, use Sabletar, take 3 prizes, that's game. And it was just like,
I did not see that. That is wild.
So,
yeah.
Holy moly.
Do we think this is a real deck?
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like the worst thing ever, right?
I think it's worse than Weldemuth here. But I think the ability to, from round 1, like get 2 energies on board constantly every turn, then will allow this big turn with Darkrai GX, Darkrai Umbreon GX into either Guitar or Zoro Ninja.
What does the Galarian Moltres' ability do again?
Once during your turn, you may attach a dark energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. You may only use one of these abilities per turn.
So it's a dark patch ability once. That's okay. Yeah, I think this sees like that's a ton of potential. Like even if it's not good now, like down the line, that seems like super good with the more dark types coming in, and it's actually a good dark type. Like that's something like I've been so painful about Eternatus is like Eternatus cannot play anything different in Pokemon. Like it can only play dark types, right? Or else you're really making a bad deck if you're not playing dark types, right? And so like there's not been a lot of good dark types coming out recently. This is like exactly what the deck needs, is another good dark type Pokemon to put on the bench.
Yeah, go for it.
I think I saw top 6 in lists essentially with like some of the Moltres and 2 energy switch. I assume play around Hammer or missing energy.
That's also like that just seems so sick. Like you can miss attachment turn 1 and still get the attack. Your Eternatus can get knocked out right after it attacks, which normally kills you, right? Like you don't get the power excel off. You go like attach, pass. You go attach, knockout, and your opponent I don't know how. They find a way to knock you out. Send a Scorch of Vomits energy, whatever. And then you just lose the game normally. And so being able to just be like, no, we're good. E-switch, knock you out, or do 270 or whatever. I think, does that survive, though? Galarian Zapdos? Is that enough of a counter? Or does the Moltres E-switch combo potentially make it just like good enough?
I mean, I have to get my hands on the cards and see how it feels, but like the Zapdos feels so crazy. Of like, it just feels like when the Mr. Mime that prevents Acerola was like basically printed to stop Acerola at the time. It's the same thing with this. It's like this feels like a direct counter to E-turn because they just bench a bunch of V Pokemon. So like this seems like the one thing they're trying to stop Eternatus with. I don't know how crazy. I mean, you never know. Like people. Weakness guard energy still in our standard format for a little bit.
Well, Zapdos you never know what's gonna happen. Remove the energy, then do damage.
Oh, it does? I don't read cards apparently.
Wait,
so
yeah, it's actually it's literally just an Eternatus counter. I mean,
so it has Zamasento's attack, basically.
Yes. Yeah, that's so crazy. Weakness guard doesn't actually protect the Eternatus unless you play a big charm, I guess.
2 weakness cards.
Yeah, it's a
you
lot.
attach weakness. You attach weakness guard. You attach weakness guard. You use Moltres and you energy switch onto Eternatus.
So you're putting 2 weakness guard energies on your turn.
Yes.
Yes, broken.
I solved it. I solved the meta.
Sure.
There you go. Sure, we'll let you have that one.
Was there any? There was a lot of cool decks that showed up. Was there anything else that you really saw or didn't see that you would have expected with the matchless fighter stuff? And you're like, I think this should have done better, or something cool else you saw that you wanted to mention?
Is Blaziken V out there, or the VMAX?
Yes, Blaziken VMAX does exist.
I think that card is crazy good. Like, you can attach with the Rapid Strike energies. You can use the Artilleries to find fans to get rid of the coding energy. Like, I just think that deck is so underhyped. I love Blaziken. Like, I love the concept of it.
So what Blaziken VMAX does, for anyone who doesn't know, for 2 colorless energies, which can include the Rapid Strike energy because it is Rapid Strike, it does 130 and attaches 2 energy cards from your discard pile to your benched Pokemon. So that includes other Rapid Strike energies.
Right. That's what I think is, like, you could play that with the Aura's Urshifu to snipe, to clean up the things you've hit early. Like, I just think that deck seems so cool in my mind right now. I don't know. I'm just a huge fan of that concept.
Yeah. It's insane. Are you sure it's out? I thought it was next set for Japan.
According to the list I looked at, it wasn't Actually, no, I'm 100% sure it was out because it placed in the expanded or the extra regional that they have hosted at the same time.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Speaking of which, quick on that. Honchkrow got 4th place.
I saw it in Toyn Lay's list, yeah.
No. Honchkrow GX in expanded got 4th place.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right. I don't know how, because their expanded is the same as our expanded, but
they just must have hit the right things.
It's a broken deck, apparently.
But it got top 4. It got top 4 in standard 2 in another Mewtwo belt list.
That is true. The Mewtwo deck did play the Honchkrow GX.
There's the Licky deck. We didn't even talk about that.
Learning a second to mention that. Like 32nd place.
No, we'll just ignore that.
Licky Altaria. Crazy cool. I mean, the guy was definitely not winning that game, but he just ran his opponent out of energy, and he was like, "Oh, okay, you win." Like, there's definitely some matchups you can't win with that deck, but there's also like E-turn, you can just start like smacking away at their Pokemon, discard cards from their hand, just win. I don't know. I like the idea of it.
I mean, that is a standard legal deck. You can play that now. I think every one of those cards is legal.
Yeah. I hit it last week in the team challenge.
Pain.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is something that I haven't heard anyone really talk about, any content creators talk about. And that is, how is expanded going to change with battle style? So for those who don't know, Jen's easily his strong suit in the game is meta calling expanded. Both Nikhil and I have just gotten handed decks by him we didn't know anything about, and we're very successful with them.
Yeah.
So I do know some expanded, but gens, how does it change?
Personally, I think it changes very little. I think we get one new playable card, which is Rapid Strike Urshifu, which might be good. I haven't tested that much, but all the other these are either easily counterplayed or too high maintenance to function in expanded. Yeah, Rapid Strike. Obviously, we have Bite Lens for the Den and Crobats. We have Silent Tab for stuff like Mew and Mime. You can play it similar to Tina Chump and use Coco and Rapid Strike Energy to easily use the second attack. So it got a lot of support, but I feel like it can be played around. It has some really bad matchup in Dragapult and Togekiss. Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't even think
as well as if a Tina Chump deck would decide to play a bench barrier Pokemon, its spells would negate the Sandlab, so it will probably have probably that much as well. Yeah, it feels a bit too slow for me.
Is it really only countering Ikaram, Turbo Dark? In theory, ADPZ? I don't know. ADP is one of those decks where like sometimes they have to bench all the stuff, and sometimes they just have the DDE in hand, and they're like sick. So I don't know if they counter that one or not. But like, is it just countering those types of decks?
Yeah, I think so. It also doesn't. It should never be a decent stall or control player.
That is a good point. Because would you say stall is the BDIF right now?
I would, yeah. The Grant Manley stallist, which I think from Japan. I just called it the Grant Man because he won with it. I think that is the best list. That list might actually lose to a very aggressive Urshifu list. If Urshifu are able to go first and the stallist has a bit of a slow turn, I can see you winning. But yeah, no, actually, Urshifu might have a decent stall matchup. Not a good one, but a decent one.
I mean, being able to pick off multiple things seems good. Like you can pick off the Regirock.
Yeah.
You probably can't attack with everything, so you could still get Snorlax stalled potentially, but we can always tech with that. Like, should people start teching for Snorlax?
Oh yeah. Yeah. How do you tech? It was after the... I mean, like we saw the week after, I gave the EV list. It was just
that was crazy.
With Nanu. I think you won 4 still matchups.
I played 6 rounds. I ended up dropping at 4 and 2 because I lost 2 attacking decks. Round 1, 2, 3, and 5, I hit stall and beat all 3. 3 of which played Snorlax, Dowsing Machine, Escape Rope, Weavile GX, and you don't even need the Nanu. It just let me be a little bit more aggressive with my Dedenne plays. But like, it's so stupid how broken Escape Rope to kill something and then Escape Rope again off the Dowsing Machine is. Like, it's so easy to beat the Snorlax with just like a rope and a Dowsing Machine. And you just have to be like careful about not discarding them.
Yeah, and that's why we played Nanu. It's versus-seekable. You have, it's versus-seekable. That's it.
And it lets you get like stuff from the discard pile back. Like, it's essentially like a rescue stretcher in some form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rescue stretcher that you can also like, when you will get end, you can have it in the discard pile and have like 3 versus-seeker deck.
Right.
So it's easier to get the rescue stretcher.
So, okay, Nanu is broken in Dark Box. You heard it here first. Probably not a good answer for something like a Pikarom, for example.
Yeah, I got bodied by Peak. I mean, I lost a Peak because they got a full blitz off into my Dedenne GX with the choice band, and I was just like, well, I lose.
So how much
but no, you should win. You should win. You should go.
No, they
Darkrai GX.
They end me to 2 before I could. Like, I went down to 2 prizes and then they ended 2.
What? So. How?
No, end me to 1. I killed their Pikarom. They Marshadowed me. I killed their Marshadow, and then they end me to 1.
Yeah, but why didn't you kill? You should. Okay, so I will explain the matchup real quick for you now. You go KO the Pikarom with Darkrai GX, GX deck, and then you use either Marshadow or Mew to copy Gustwood's attack. Red Banquet, so either KO the Dene, Crobat, or Marshadow for the last 3 verses.
So I went first, and I went like attached, bench a couple Pokemon Pass, and they got a turn 1 full blitz with a Guzma Choice Band. So they went up 2 prizes, and then I killed their Pikarom. And then they killed my Zora Ninja because it was the only thing I could set up. I didn't get the Darkrai GX attack off. Yeah. Which that's why I think that's where I lose, right? Because then they go end to 1, Marshadow kill me, and then I was like, well, sound. I drew 2 Dark Energy off the end. So I was like, no.
Yeah, no. I guess then you can lose, yeah. If you don't get the Darkrai, you're bad. I would say Pikarom is one of Dark Box's worst matchup. Especially if you play Vikavolt and Sudowoodo, you can easily fall to that.
It was rough, but I mean the techs worked exactly how Gens thought they would. Like, it was wild. I was like, there's no way, right? And then I beat 4.
So, okay, let's pretend Urshifu bodies Pikarom out of the format. And let's say Dark Box too. Why not? Just kill them both.
Just one.
You know, the 2 decks that literally never come back constantly. We'll say they're gone now. Does this mean Dragapult is BDIF? Because at that point, what beats Drag?
Togekiss. Togekiss looks very good. If Peak is out of format, Togekiss would be there. We need to, no.
Does Kiss beat?
You need to find something different.
Or does Kiss beat Stall?
I think Kiss with some monies. You can also play one Giraffe, one Bumblebee. It had definitely a way to beat Stall,
Yo, should we start playing Marnie as a tech for Stall?
Marnie was crazy, actually.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have already, especially the Limitless people. I saw Pedro playing Pikarom with Marnie.
Philip Schultz played it against me. He was playing Dragagarb, and he Marnied me, and I lost because I didn't draw anything.
Yeah.
So Marnie is officially toxic and expanded too.
It is. It's back.
You love to see it. I mean, playing Ultra Necrozma Garb, because yes, I actually enjoy that deck. Playing Marnie in there felt so good. It's just like, it just bodies people so much early games to be like, all right, I'm going to knock you out, I'm going to Marnie you, and your ability lock.
Yeah, no. I mean, I would just say to chat, whenever I try to talk about Expanded and actually talk about it, Mel will always either bring up Ultra Necrozma Garbodor or Primal Groudon.
God, this guy in Groudon, you guys don't understand.
Every single time.
Not just with Expanded, it's with any old format I bring. It's like, can I play Groudon in this? Every time.
And what's your point? Or should we talk about Groudon next? Is that where we're at?
I have given you 3 Groudon lists. No one has, not single lists have worked.
That's because you keep taking the beaches before I can use them.
You have access to other beaches.
Because I test the deck, Mellow. I actually test the deck for once, and it loses. It also loses in theory.
No, you lose. I would win.
In theory? I lose in theory?
Yeah. That's your fault. You're just outplaying yourself. That's the issue. You want Groudon to lose, so you convince yourself that it has to lose this game.
Yeah, okay.
No, Groudon's fun. Like, it's like really fun. I highly suggest anyone who plays an old format tournament pick up the Groudon or Greninja, whichever one's legal. One of them has always been legal for the history of Pokemon. So you should definitely
just know that's like completely not true.
No,
I mean, you can play 03. You can play 3. Groudon's in 03. I'm very good.
Oh yeah, that was the Team Magma one, right?
Yeah.
Where Japan came out of nowhere and everyone's like, this card sucks, and just wiped
and then
the
they
floor.
won.
Yeah. Bro, what's up? Greninja's great. All right, let's go ahead and wait, Jens, any last thoughts on Expanded?
Beat Stall. First, I don't want to have to play decks of Beat Stall, but please Beat Stall. You will play at least 2 stall players if you're gonna get cut. Please beat stall.
Yeah, the Limitless is such a good meme that all the stall decks played mirrors all the way through Top Cut, but half of
That
Cut
was
was stall
funny.
decks.
That was really funny.
It was something. I'm really upset. I wanted to commentate one of the stall mirror matches, and none of them could
You just
stream.
didn't get a single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to stream the stall mirror match.
What do you mean? That's 4D chess happening right there.
No. I mean, a player wouldn't want to stream the stall mirror match.
Oh, none of them could, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's so emotional. Oh, and they handiwork away the energy. Oh, and there's the giraffe rig. Let's go.
It's so tense, but it's so long to get to that one like point.
That's risky though. Using the handwork, you need to have the verse.
Oh, of course. Because otherwise it gets giraffe away. What do you then? You bundle, bro? Okay, well, we'll get to the stall mirror match later. I assume that's probably a really long one. And the only stall mirror match I've ever played was Regigigas Hoopa, and we both played Unknown Hand. So it was and I played giraffe and he did. That was an important difference. So it was mostly Stevens every turn, and then I would just giraffe away his Stevens before he could.
So you just win.
Yeah,
it's not a mirror. You win.
It was such a
play the better list. You just played the better list, so you win.
No, he played a judge, so I had to play around the judge.
You just lost the judge. You should literally never have lost that.
I mean, I didn't, but it was fun. Good. No, because he played the Burning Shadows Vileplume one, so he could also shut off my giraffe. So there was some play we had to do. But like, yeah, it was super favored for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you remember? It was when Registrar first was legal.
Yeah.
Not the green stallists, but I will credit Norwegian player Adrian Fjell. Really fun, like counter stall deck. With like
the white Kira.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
that's the one I
was so good.
It was fun.
I remember that. That was cool.
That was such because I won so many games.
And he also played like Basmosa.
Yep.
Played the Basmosa and like the Dragonites. That's a fun list.
That was such a fun deck, man. It was just counterbox, but against Zapdos, you just decked them out. Which is like perfect. You deck out the single prizers and you can take prizes against the tag teams. That was such a fun deck. All right, let's go. Let's get into viewer questions. So the first question is a very important one, and I will kick you off the team if either of you answer it wrong. But from Soda King, Nag Quag or Quag Nag?
Okay, it's Nag Quag. Anybody that says Quag Nag, I'm sorry, you're God. Like that is just not. It's alphabetical. It's N then Q. That's how you do your alphabets.
Alphabetical.
I mean,
what?
It's alphabetical. It's the correct order to do the actions. It also doesn't sound horrible. Also, you should just not mention deck. It's not a good deck. Wait, I don't know how you're talking about it.
Are all the tag teams? Because I was just like, that's not true. Pikaram's alphabetical. ADP's alphabetical. Reshizard's alphabetical. Wait, are they all alphabetical?
No, isn't it? It's not Charizard and Reshiram tag team GX. Isn't it Reshiram and Charizard?
No, I mean like the acronym that the community uses.
Reshizard.
Yeah, R is before Z.
Zard.
But
we haven't agreed on everyone. Wait, how does the alphabet work again? Is G
alphabet work? Chat, how does the alphabet
you guys work? You don't have enough letters in your alphabet, so
what do you mean? We have exactly enough, 26.
We have like 26. Yeah. Where's your 29? and you have like 0 vowels.
We have
your 9 vowels.
That's too many.
6. We have 6 vowels.
You need your 9 vowels.
All right, let's get to the next question. Oh, also the answer is nag quag, because first you nag and then you quag.
Yeah, you have to charging up and then you Quagsire. It's not, you can't do it the other way around.
Exactly. All right. DeLocke asks, what is your favorite past expanded format?
You want to go first, Jens?
No, I need to think.
Okay, I'll give you mine. It's any of the format. I can't remember the exact sets, but it's back when day one of regionals was one format, and then day two was another. So like day one would be standard, and day two is expanded. And there were so few sets in black and white between like black and white and X and Y that you could put like a computer search, a couple Colress in your list, and you're like, cool, this is expanded now. Like that's what Andrew Mahone did. He put 3 level balls in his list, a couple Colress, and maybe like a spec, and he was like, sound, this is my new list. that's all it was. I loved that. Was such a stupid format. Realistically though, it was when I played it was when you could play Turbo Rayquaza just after Team Up came out with like Coco Prism and Shaman Prism and just like do 250 damage every turn, even though that's not a number of Rayquaza hits.
Close enough.
Yeah. If you didn't know, I'm from Europe. We do not really do expanded. But I think I won my first challenge like ever. I was a senior, and that for some reason that was expanded. So that's apparently my favorite format. I played my standard deck, which was Espeon Garb without Garbodor. Without Garbotoxin. And then I added one Flareon because that was my expanded card.
Bro, that we could beat the Desi Plume. Or whatever Plume deck existed. Yeah. There's always been a Plume.
Oh
deck.
No, there was
there's
no
so many
there was no grass decks in the tournament.
Oh, well, that happens.
The Flareon was useless.
That it's just like a Zamazenta and Dragapult. Sometimes you just do that.
It was the Burning Shadows formats. Burning Shadows was the first last league. So it was after that works.
That's before my time, so I'm just gonna nod and say yeah.
It was after Guardian Worlds.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the expanded meta was then.
I
just
remember.
And that was before Zoroark. So yeah, I actually have no idea.
It was a lot of Guardy. There's a lot of Guardy in there.
It was before.
Was that after? Yeah, Archeops was banned, so there was no Maxis Archeops. Trying to remember what else there was. I don't know. Probably not important.
My favorite expanded format, first regional I ever went to, Portland 2018. I really enjoyed it. That was right after Red Card, or not Red, what's it called? Hex Maniac, Puzzle of Time, and Getsus all got banned. And so it felt like a really new format. I played Zorogarb. I played like trash because it was my first regional, but it was so fun. Zorogarb was not the BDIF because Zorotoad was the BDIF, but Zorogarb was like absolutely broken in that format, and it was so much fun. The amount of Buzzwole players who were like, haha, you're playing a Zoroark deck, you lose, and then just got bodied. It was so good.
That was a fun format.
I remember my first regional. It was Malmö some years ago. I played, that's where I played the Duskmane Magnezone. And I played the busted 101 Bastion.
Insane.
Yeah, oof. An unidentified puzzle, busted, just evolve it. You don't get affected by Pokemon you don't get damaged. Your metal Pokemon doesn't take damage from Pokemon with special energies on it.
So you just like everything.
Yeah, it tied me one match, and that was what it did.
Gamer asks, what is your favorite Zoroark deck?
Oh.
Zorogarb. Easy. Expanded Zorogarb.
Yeah, Zorogarb.
Well, I technically played slightly in that format. But yeah, Zorogarb.
I liked the Zoroark Guardy deck that Tord made. I also liked Zoroark, like all the iterations of it. That was super fun. But honestly, it was Zoroark Counter Energies expanded. I got top 8 of the League Cup with it because we couldn't figure out what to play, so we played a town map in Zoroark Counter Energies. It was sick. It was super fun. That's probably one of my favorite decks I've ever played.
All right. And then this is going to be the last question for time. But OK Joker TTV asks, what is your first deck?
First deck? Like real deck? Probably some 2010. I think it was Jumpluff because it wasn't that expensive. And I had most of the cards for it. It was a really bad Jumpluff list. But the first deck I played was the Glade theme deck from Platinum, like one of the Platinum sets. That was the first thing I ever played to a tournament. Blade theme deck. So it was not good. I went like negative 5 million. It was not good.
My first deck was, I think, like real deck was SQM Garbodor after the Gardevoir one, but I didn't have any Garbotoxin Garbodors, so it didn't really win.
Anything.
Except for it expanded. It was very good and expanded somehow.
My first deck was the ultimate beginner deck. Vikabulu, baby.
Oh yeah.
Love that deck. It was so bad. But also kind of gas.
No, there's no but also. There's no but also.
Now, have you ever turn 2 Vikavolted someone?
No, no one has. It's Vikabulu. You either draw 4 Red Candy, 3 Vikavolt, or 7 Energy. There's no in between.
All right. So that's going to do it for our third episode. Nikhil, where can the people find you?
NK0HLI on Twitter. I'm also definitely not the guy tweeting from Carpe D's Rats on Twitter. It's definitely not me. Yeah.
Jens, where can the people find you?
I have a Twitter. You can search on Wilmer Colbert Johansson, and I might show up, I think.
You need to get a better Twitter handle because it takes up like 19 characters in any tweet I put you in. Like, seriously, just make Gen71 your Twitter handle, please.
No. No.
And you can, of course, find me, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube at mellow_Magikarp. And that will do it for the third episode of the Lake of Rage podcast. Thank you so much, and see y'all next week.
See you next week.